So I finished reading Mile High. Mile High is the first of this series, but I read Play Along by Liz Tomforde. As I said, Mile High was the first in the series. This is the book that I got for my blind date with a book that I got for my birthday. I did not read Mile High or any of the other ones. I just started with this one. And then I was going to base my decision on if I need to read the rest of them based on how much I like this. And yeah, I will now be adding the rest of them to my TBR because I enjoyed this so much. I've also seen a lot of really good things about it on social media. So Kennedy works for the Chicago Warriors, which is a baseball team. The day she gets her job is actually also the day her job is kind of taken away from her by a sexist pig of a boss. Sorry, but he is. He's like, you're a girl, so I'm not going to offer you the second doctor position. You can be an athletic trainer instead. So she ends up taking the job, but of course she's, not happy about it. But anyway, after that interaction, she ends up running into Isaiah, who has been hiding out in the women's bathroom because that day is always a very bad day for him. It was unfortunately the day his mother passed. So he's like not in a good mood, but like she walks into his life and things are suddenly better because of course he is so taken by her. It's kind of hilarious. But he can't have her, one, because, they both work for the team, and two, because she is engaged. So that kind of throws things into the mix. And that's where, like, the prologue happens. I think there's a prologue. With it, you know what I'm saying. Like, that's where we first start. Now, we fast forward a couple years, and we find out, one, she is no longer engaged, and two, he has been obsessed with her. And that is like a key thing because Obsessed is a song by Mariah Carey that is featured throughout this book in ways. So, yes. Anyway, so he has been like flirting with her and everything, but of course, there's still that like, yes, she's no longer engaged, but there's the whole like they still work for the same team because he's a baseball player, she's the athletic trainer. Kind of a not a good idea. But they go to Vegas, and what happens in Vegas? People get drunk. And what happens when they get drunk? They get married. So they end up both getting drunk. They wake up and find out that they are married. And so the team is like, is this legit? Because if it's not legit, then somebody's losing their job. And they kind of knew that it would be Kennedy who was losing her job. But at the same time, she is up for a position in San Francisco. And she doesn't want to look bad by losing her job. So they both agreed to pretend to be married until she gets her job, until she gets a job in San Francisco, hopefully, and then they can divorce. But of course, again, he's been obsessed with her, and not the crazy stalkerish obsessed, by the way. I realize where that could go. So not the crazy stalkerish obsessed, but obsessed. So he, of course, is utilizing this opportunity to like flirt with her because he can. And also he meets her family, which are like horrible people. And he realizes why she feels the way that she feels about being loved and being just like affection in general. So she ultimately kind of asks him to like teach her how to be more affectionate to people. So yeah, so you'll have to read the rest of it on your own. I'm not giving away any more spoilers, but I really, really, really enjoyed this. I will say, I don't think you have to read the other books. Like, I don't think it was a problem that I've started here. But I will say some things will probably make a little bit more sense, and some of the characters would be like expected to already know some of these characters and their relationships going into this book because their books came first. So there was that. But overall, did it take away from the book? No, absolutely not. Love this. Highly recommend. Adorable if you love sports romance. Happy reading.